Hey everyone, ready to dive deep into the world of Transformers? Age of Extinction? Released on June 27, 2014. This film has sparked endless discussions, and today, we're uncovering every thrilling detail. If you enjoy this deep dive, don't forget to hit that like button. It really helps us grow. And for more incredible movie explorations and hidden gems, subscribe to the channel. Now, let's unravel the magic behind this cinematic masterpiece. We open years after the devastating Battle of Chicago from the previous film. The world is recovering, but it's also paranoid. Transformers, once heroes, are now hunted. The US government has turned its back on the Autobots, branding them a threat. And in the shadows, a covert unit called Cemetery Wind, led by a cold and ruthless CIA agent named Harold Attinger, is taking matters into its own hands. But this isn't just a government crackdown. Attinger has formed a deadly alliance with a mysterious and terrifying alien bounty hunter known as Lockdown, who isn't exactly loyal to anyone. His mission is simple: capture Optimus Prime, dead or alive. In the midst of all this, we meet Cade Yeager, a struggling inventor and single father in Texas, played by Mark Wahlberg. Cade's life is built around fixing junk and protecting his daughter, Tessa. When he stumbles upon a broken-down semi-truck in an abandoned theater, he has no idea he's just made a discovery that will change everything. That truck isn't just any vehicle. It's a battle-damaged Optimus Prime, hiding from the humans who once trusted him. Cade unknowingly reignites the war between man and machine, putting his family directly in the crossfire. As the CIA closes in, aided by Lockdown's deadly tech, Cade, Tessa, and Tessa's secret boyfriend Shane are forced to go on the run with Optimus. The once noble Autobot leader is scarred and bitter, questioning whether Earth is worth saving again. But with Galvatron, an artificial transformer created by humans but mysteriously infused with Megatron's consciousness, rising from the ashes, the threat is greater than ever. Humanity's attempt to play God has backfired. Using a revolutionary metal called Transformium, scientists at KSI, led by tech mogul Joshua Joyce, have created their own controllable transformers. But in doing so, they've unknowingly reawakened an ancient evil. As Optimus gathers the last remaining Autobots, including fan-favorite Bumblebee, the team races across the globe to stop Galvatron and uncover Lockdown's true mission. The stakes rise dramatically when Lockdown's ship, a massive alien vessel that hovers like a fortress in the sky, captures Optimus and prepares to deliver him to the mysterious creators, ancient beings responsible for the existence of all Transformers. These shadowy figures remain unseen, but their presence looms like gods behind the scenes. They're the ones who sent Lockdown, and now they want their creation back. In one of the film's most jaw-dropping sequences, Cade and his crew launch a desperate rescue mission inside Lockdown's ship. It's a high-stakes, gravity-defying battle full of shifting floors, alien tech, and narrow escapes. But it's only the beginning. When they return to Earth, the battle moves to Hong Kong, where KSI's rogue Transformers are deployed. Galvatron reveals his true identity, and chaos erupts on a colossal scale. Just when all hope seems lost, Optimus Prime turns to an ancient, forgotten power hidden beneath the surface, the legendary Dinobots. Unleashing Grimlock and his fellow Beast Warriors in a fiery, thundering charge, the final act becomes an all-out war. Metal clashes with metal in the streets, skies, and high-rises of Hong Kong, as the Autobots and Dinobots join forces to push back the tide of destruction. With Cade holding his own in fierce hand-to-hand combat against a rogue agent, and Tessa and Shane proving they're more than just tag-alongs, the human characters finally step up and earn their place in the chaos. And in the climactic showdown, Optimus Prime delivers a chilling promise to the creators as he defeats Lockdown once and for all. He's coming for them next. With a powerful flight into space, sword in hand and vengeance in his spark, Optimus leaves Earth behind, setting up the next chapter in the saga. Transformers. Age of Extinction may not have won over every critic, but it made over $1.1 billion worldwide, proving the explosive appeal of giant robots, epic battles, and a cinematic world where mythology and machinery collide. With stunning visuals, new lore, and unforgettable action set pieces. This film expanded the Transformers universe in bold new directions. Whether you watched it for the Dinobots, the new human cast, or to see Optimus Prime unleash righteous fury, this installment carved out its own legacy in the franchise. To understand why Age of Extinction stands out, you only have to look at the risks it took. In a genre all too familiar with formulaic installments, Bay dared to reinvent by introducing new protagonists, reinventing the Transformers mythology, and pushing visual effects into overdrive with the introduction of the awe-inspiring Dinobots. Audiences and critics may still debate the film's narrative coherence, but one fact is indisputable. It broke through a familiar franchise ceiling, grossing over $1.1 billion worldwide. That very milestone wasn't just about ticket sales. It signaled that when spectacle meets reinvention, cultural resonance is born. Imagine yourself sitting in that darkened theater on release day, the hammering beats of Bobby Krulek's score echoing through the speakers as the first frames show a transformed Washington, D.C., skyscrapers shattered and scarred by alien tech. It's a startling re-entry into the Transformers universe. One that says up front, what you thought you knew is about to shift. From there, every storyline ripple becomes a tidal wave. The film injects shaky hands intensity into Cade Yeager, the inventive but struggling Texan father played by Mark Wahlberg, with grounded human stakes. Cade's garage becomes a fortress, his inventions tokens of survival in a world where mechanical giants are both shields and threats. As Cade discovers a battered semi in a derelict drive-in, you feel the audience lean forward. That semi isn't just rusting steel. It houses the heart and soul of the franchise, Optimus Prime, voiced by Peter Cullen with gravel voice gravitas. When Optimus reveals himself, battered but resolute, viewers get their first taste of the emotional core of Age of Extinction. The idea that true heroism is found in those who carry scars yet rise again. But there's a darker thread woven throughout. Under the radar, a covert government task force called Cemetery Wind, led by Kelsey Grammer's coolly menacing CIA agent Harold Attinger, has deployed Lockdown, an alien bounty hunter transformer whose icy precision and contract-driven morality is as chilling as it is compelling. Lockdown's presence shifts the conflict from national crisis to personal. In this iteration, it's no longer simply Autobots versus Decepticons. Now Optimus stands alone against an alien enforcer who answers to higher, mysterious orders. This layered conflict pulses through the film, weaving personal stakes with global consequences. In parallel, we're introduced to the slick, enigmatic tech billionaire Joshua Joyce, Stanley Tucci, whose KSI Corporation has cracked the secret of creating giant transformers using a new programmable metal called transformium. Joyce's ambition injects the story with shades of classic Frankenstein lore, humankind playing God, only to unleash forces they can't control. Enter Galvatron, a human-built transformer infused with Megatron's consciousness, a lightning-charged mockery of creation itself. Then the verdict drops. The stakes escalate from espionage to existential threat. KSI's army, built from the factory floor, breaks rank. Galvatron declares his dominion, freeing other mechanical soldiers to join his cause. What began as fighting to save Optimus and protect Cade's family suddenly spirals into a planet-scale showdown. A fractured world reassembles in chaotic wonder, and viewers are swept along for a visually dazzling ride. And just when you think the film might overextend itself, along come the Dinobots, Grimlock and his prehistoric brethren in mechanical T-Rex and Raptor forms. That first shot of Grimlock rising from the mist, ancient sparks trailing like embers, is enough to silence a packed theater. Here, myth meets machinery, and the script gives us no time to catch our breath. The Dinobots don't just add spectacle. They symbolize legacy, the idea that something older, grander, and more elemental than mankind still shapes the cosmic battlefield. The final act crowds your senses in the neon-lit rain of Hong Kong, where ancient beasts, government contractors, alien bounty hunters, and rogue transformers all collide. When the cityscape is torn apart by grinding gears and firepower, there's a pure kinetic thrill that transcends dialogue. It's visual poetry, with explosions and metal limbs painting a city-wide fresco of machine warfare. Yet interwoven with all the destructive grandeur, director Michael Bay delivers emotional anchor points. Cade's fierce devotion to Tessa, Nicola Peltz. Tessa's quiet rebellion from corporate expectation into battlefield hero, Shane's broken-hearted loyalty, and Optimus's bruised but unbowed speeches that echo an ancient code of honor. These moments remind audiences that beneath the chrome plating, these beings, human and Autobot alike, fight for something akin to home. What makes Age of Extinction extraordinary isn't just its fights. It's the juxtaposition of ancient and futuristic, gritty Texas towns and ultramodern highways of Hong Kong, marginal inventors and billionaire moguls, and monstrous betrayals cloaked in shiny metal. It invites viewers to consider, in a world ruled by machines, what remains human? Culturally, the film landed at a pivotal moment. In 2014, streaming services were rising, and the appetite for cinematic escapism was surging. Age of Extinction became more than a summer blockbuster. It became a meme, a conversation starter at barbecues, a gift bank of oversized robot fights shared in group chats. Movie reviewers may have scoffed at its lengthy runtime and scattered plot, but fans embraced it. Its billion-plus gross was a loud message. Audiences craved spectacle with emotional stakes, familiar heroes reborn, and mythology expanded in explosive new directions. Diving deeper into Age of Extinction reveals more layers still. Consider the film's exploration of unchecked technology. With KSI's replication of cybernetic life, the audience confronts the question: if humans can replicate life, should they? It's a sci-fi theme as old as cinema, updated here with breathtaking visual effects and a multi-billion-dollar context. Then there's the concept of legacy. Optimus Prime isn't just a hero, he's a symbol reborn. He carries the old guard into new territory, reminding viewers that symbols matter, even in a world overshadowed by machines. Even small details shine under scrutiny. Cade's workshop is littered with bits of classic Americana, a contrast to the cold precision of KSI Labs. The film's violence, while massive in scale, is also intimate. Bone-crushing in close frame, metal teeth grinding so that when the Dinobots stomp Hong Kong streets, you feel every tremor. The sound design, from the subtle whir of gears to the roaring sarcasm of Galvatron, reinforces a mechanical world that feels lived in. You can't ignore the performances. Wahlberg brings a blue-collar soul to Cade. Not quite hero, not quite villain. Tucci's Joshua Joyce is charming, smug, and terrifying in his god-complex ambition. And Peltz and Rayner give the film a youthful spark, playing off Optimus with wonder and defiance. Even Lockdown, with little spoken dialogue, cuts it cold, his pew-pew weaponizing silence into character. By the time the credits roll, the world feels changed. Optimus doesn't just survive. He breaks free, soaring into the sky with his ancient sword, hinting at a confrontation with the unseen creators. Humans are left in a fragile triumph, uncertain but defiant. It's a promise. The saga continues, and both the Autobots and mankind have more to fight for. So why should viewers go deeper? Because Transformers: Age of Extinction is a cinematic collision of grit and legend, of fractured families and cosmic conspiracies, of booming blockbusters and whispered motives. It's a film that dares to ask hard questions underneath its chrome veneers. What is creation worth? Who earns the right to walk among gods? Where does machinery end and humanity begin? And if that's not enough, the film gives you unforgettable set pieces. The dusty Texan plains turning into battlefields, a rescue mission aboard an alien mothership that flips viewers upside down in every sense, and a lightning-charged finale in Hong Kong that practically roars from the screen. You can watch it once for the visuals, but when you dive back in, you start seeing nuances, visual callbacks, character shifts, technological foreshadowing, and emotional beats that reward the curious viewer. Transformers: Age of Extinction is not just a chapter in a franchise. It's a statement. A franchise reinvented through epic spectacle, new mythology, emotional grit, and the promise of something even bigger beyond our skies. As we peel back each layer, we find a film that challenges, excites, and leaves you hungry for more. On June 27, 2014, the world was introduced to a darker, more dangerous chapter of the Transformers saga with Age of Extinction. From the opening moments, the film thrusts us into a world forever altered. Nations are scarred by the Battle of Chicago, cities crumble beneath the weight of alien technology, and governments across the globe have reached a tipping point. Humanity's allies have become enemies, and safety is a fragile illusion. Our journey begins in solemn aftermath, destroyed monuments, hyper-real CGI, and an eerie soundtrack setting a tone of dread. In Washington, D.C., the shattered Capitol reveals how deeply the Transformers war has cut into government and trust. The Autobots, once protectors, are now hunted. The government's new position is clear: termination, not alliance. A ruthless CIA-backed Black Ops unit, codenamed Cemetery Wind, moves with lethal precision to eradicate any Transformer threats. Leading this operation is Harold Attinger, a cold, calculating figure with a belief that humanity must control or destroy what it cannot understand. Meanwhile, across the globe in Shanghai, a lone figure appears. Lockdown, an alien Transformer bounty hunter wearing both technological silence and lethal determination, surveys the ruins. He answers to unseen creators, ancient architects of the Transformers, and carries out his mission without hesitation. Find and capture Optimus Prime at any cost. Half a world away, in rural Texas, lives Cade Yeager, a determined inventor, a loving father, and a man eking out a living in a world that's turned cynical and fearful. His garage is his sanctuary, cluttered with mechanical projects, broken-down cars, and discarded technologies waiting for revival. His teenage daughter, Tessa, is focused on school, future plans, and peace. Tessa's secret boyfriend, Shane, a charismatic race car mechanic, brings youth and energy, but also tension into their dynamics. Shane's independent spirit occasionally conflicts with Cade's protective instincts. Cade buys scrap metal from a mysterious buyer connected to government cleanup efforts, a transaction that unknowingly draws him into the orbit of the Autobots. When Cade discovers a battered 18-wheeler cab in a junkyard, hidden, neglected, and forgotten, he senses opportunity. As Cade brings it back to his workshop, powered only by hope and ingenuity, neither he nor the audience realize that this truck once led the Autobots into battle. Gradually, as Cade tinkers, strange vibrations and electrical surges ripple through the machine. At night, he awakens to mechanical rumblings. That truck is not dead, it's awakening. When Optimus Prime finally reveals himself, powerful and dignified, his voice deep with gravitas, Cade is stunned. The revelation is wet with tension, and the breathing pause before Optimus speaks gives the audience a beat to absorb the weight of this moment. Optimus, wounded and disillusioned, is hiding from a world that turned on him. Suddenly, a roar overhead signals danger. Upon surveying Cade's property, government agents descended on him. Bureaucratic suits in flak jackets storm the farm, with Cemetery Wind mobilizing into a tactical strike team. Their goal: confiscate the Transformer, neutralize all Autobots. It becomes clear, Cade is in over his head. In the blink of an eye, his world becomes a battlefield. Cade, Tessa, and Shane spring into action. They realize that Optimus's survival now hinges on secrecy and speed. In a sleek sequence brimming with mechanical precision, Cade hacks old military hardware to create diversions while Shane jumps behind the wheel of a rig that becomes Optimus's disguise. Engines roar and tires squeal as they swerve through backroads, pursued by high-tech drones and heavily armed agents. Suspense escalates as satellite tracking lights flicker across the dashboard. Any second could be their last. As they flee across the Texan plains, the pieces fall into place. Attinger's directive: wipe out any remaining Transformers. Lockdown appears, emerging in steel-clad silhouette, leveling fears. The client who'd bought Cade's scrap metal was unknowingly aiding the government's purge. Cade's hope for profit turns into a fight for life. In the midst of the chase, Optimus's presence is felt even when unseen. His engine's muted hum, the ground vibrating underfoot. He's more than a truck now. He's a symbol of resistances, a warrior in hiding. Tessa and Cade exchange glances filled with fear and determination. Their stakes are no longer years of debt, but lives on the line. As night falls, the fugitives make a desperate stop at an abandoned drive-in theater, seeking refuge. Amidst rusty marquees and moonlit screens, they attempt repairs. Optimus, battered and weary, reveals to Cade the basic outline of what's happened. Cemetery Wind's crusade, Lockdown's mission, and humanity's betrayal. His voice carries awe and grief. The revelations land like thunder, but the quiet moment offers space. You sense a bond forming between man and machine, or perhaps between lost souls undoing old mistakes. Yet rest is fleeting. Satellite surveillance picks them up, military drones converge, and tense static builds on the radio. Tessa, caught between teenage resolve and parental worry, steels herself. Shane, more accustomed to horsepower than existential threats, grips shifting gears and security codes with equal intensity. This trio and Optimus are caught in a tightening net. As dawn breaks, Cade launches a bold gambit. A massive distraction, signaling every military comm channel with fake distress calls, trailing signal flares, and mechanical decoys across farms and highways. It's a stroke of improvisational genius, and yet the suspense is visceral. Every engine stutter, every guard's twitch, every distant rumble could expose them. Optimus transforms in the middle of a deserted field, pistons hissing, wheels becoming limbs. It's a full transformation for audiences who've only seen half-revealed robots. Thrilling, majestic, terrifying. He towers over the countryside, silent and brooding, until Shane's viably tuned code overrides a lock on his registry, allowing silence to return before the government can strike. That moment both terrifies and reassures. They've breathed fire and avoided destruction. Then there's the setup before they vanish. Cade hacks into a military database to delete Optimus's signature from federal systems. This isn't just clever, the stakes here are intelligence warfare. Every keystroke carries weight. The suspense is mechanical syntax and encrypted echoes. While all this unfolds, we catch glimpses of Joshua Joyce, the charismatic tech billionaire guiding KSI, a company determined to build man-made transformers using the revolutionary transformium. Joyce's presentation in high-gloss boardrooms sets the tone for themes that will evolve later. Creation versus control, ambition versus responsibility. We see him charm investors, downplay ethical quandaries, and deliver polished demos. His company's vision shimmering like a promise yet to be tested. Back on the road, the trio escapes government net and Lockdown's looming presence. We feel tension stretch taut. The narrative thrust is not just survival but rebellion. Man and Autobot choosing to fight when everything told them to hide. Their destination is uncertain. Their path littered with armed patrols, robots in the sky, and betrayals yet to reveal themselves. Before the halfway mark, there's a turning point. They split. Optimus detective style goes off-grid to scout for other Autobots still hiding in plain sight, while Cade, Tessa, and Shane head for a safe house orchestrated through rebel contacts. It's a moment dripping with suspense. Will Optimus return? Is he lost? Is he waiting for extraction? Or for confrontation? Throughout this first half, character arcs emerge sharply. Cade evolves from a solitary dreamer scrapping for parts into a reluctant leader. Tessa grows from cautious teen into someone married to the fate of a war she never asked for. Shane's bravado gives way to real courage under fire. Lockdown, meanwhile, remains as silent as judgment itself, a shadowy figure sharpening the stakes. And Attinger, watching, calculating, commanding, keeps government interests in cold focus. Crucially, the narrative keeps a tight rhythm. Early conflicts, government versus Autobot, man versus machine, father versus corporate cleanup, interlace with meaningful character turns. Key scenes: discovery of Optimus, driveway transformation, chase through Texas, hacking sequences, all build tension upward. Each moment foreshadows larger confrontations ahead. The explosive revelation of Galvatron, the emergence of the Dinobots, the final Hong Kong showdown. The world building is subtle but powerful. Desolate airports, neon cityscapes, shimmering data screens, clattering scrapyards, and fallen monuments paint a global portrait of fear, hope, decay, and resurgence. Suspense isn't just in weapons and speed. It's in what's silent. Hidden signals, veiled motives, unspeaking robots, and human fear buried beneath shiny steel. As we near the midpoint, before the grand reveal of KSI's Transformium army and before the climactic betrayal, this first half grips the audience with two escalating questions. Can Optimus Prime survive when his own creators turn against him? And will a scrappy group of humanity's underdogs, Cade, Tessa, and Shane, be enough to stand in the wrecking ball of corporate ambition and alien overwatch? The first half sets the stage with circling threats, forged alliances, and secrets that pulse just beneath the surface. What began as a story of hiding becomes a story of rising, and even as the hunter closes in, a spark of rebellion ignites. The film doesn't just hint at bigger conflicts. It builds them, brick by thrilling brick, as Earth braces for the battles to come. From the moment the camera first pans over the dusty Texas countryside, Transformers, Age of Extinction signals a shift, not just in visual tone, but in its emotional focus. This isn't simply another entry in a franchise about metal-on-metal warfare. It's a story grounded in fear, betrayal, and redemption, told through characters who carry the weight of the past while confronting forces far beyond their control. At the heart of it all stands Cade Yeager, portrayed by Mark Wahlberg. He's no soldier, no government agent, just an inventive, stubborn Texan with a garage full of busted tech and a daughter he's trying desperately to protect. Wahlberg plays Cade with a quiet, grounded intensity. There's a weariness in his eyes that tells you this man has lost more than he lets on. Cade is introduced as a man scraping by, fixing and salvaging junk, with more hope than money, and a deep-set belief in building rather than destroying. His motivation isn't grandeur. It's love, specifically, for his daughter Tessa. That love is the engine that drives him. When he buys a beat-up truck hoping to flip it for scrap, it's not ambition. It's desperation. But the truck isn't just metal. It's Optimus Prime, broken and hiding. And when Cade discovers that, everything changes. Cade's arc is one of reluctant heroism. Initially, he wants nothing more than to protect his daughter and his home. But once he sees how far the government has gone, hunting Autobots, destroying allies, and working with forces they don't fully understand, he can't stand by. Wahlberg's performance sells that evolution perfectly. The way his voice tightens when he confronts government agents. The panic that turns into resolve when Tessa is taken. The shift from confusion to defiance as he tells Optimus, "You're not going anywhere. You're my friend." These are not just lines, they're turning points. Tessa Yeager, played by Nicola Peltz, is the emotional tether that grounds Cade. At first glance, she might seem like the archetypal rebellious teen. Secret boyfriend, longing for independence, tired of her father's overbearing rules. But what sets Tessa apart is how quickly she rises to the occasion. When her life is upended, her father hunted, her home destroyed, and alien forces descending, she doesn't fold. Her fear is real, but so is her strength. She adapts quickly, and by the second act, she's saving lives, not waiting to be saved. Her relationship with Cade matures alongside the story. What begins as friction becomes mutual respect. She sees his flaws, his inability to let go, his stubborn pride, but also his fierce loyalty and love. And Cade, in turn, learns to see her not as a child, but as someone capable of facing darkness head-on. Shane Dyson, brought to life by Jack Rayner, starts off as the wild card. The charming, confident race car driver with a roguish streak. Initially, he feels like comic relief, an adrenaline junkie caught in a world he can't fully comprehend. But that surface fades fast. When things spiral into chaos, Shane doesn't hesitate. He drives, fights, risks everything. Not for fame, but for Tessa, and later, for her father. He earns Cade's respect not by winning an argument, but by standing his ground when it counts. Shane's transformation, from unwanted boyfriend to trusted ally, is subtle but genuine. He doesn't become a superhero, but a real partner in the fight. Someone who learns quickly that courage is more than reflexes and fast cars. Then there's Optimus Prime, voiced once again by the legendary Peter Cullen. Optimus in this film is a far cry from the noble, ever-hopeful leader of previous entries. He's broken physically, mentally, and morally. betrayed by the humans he swore to protect, hunted, wounded, forced into hiding. And Cullen's voice work carries that weight. His deep, resonant tone is tinged with anger and sorrow. Optimus spends the first half of the film questioning everything. When he says, "I swore never to kill humans," it's less a rule and more a vow he's struggling to keep. But what makes his arc so compelling is the way he finds his purpose again. Through Cade, through Tessa, through the realization that not all of humanity has turned its back on him. It's not just about survival for Optimus anymore. It's about choosing to believe again. When he calls for the ancient Dinobots to rise and fight, it's not just strategy. It's a declaration that he's reclaiming his mantle. His final act, flying off into the cosmos with the seed, vowing to confront his creators, isn't just about justice. It's about facing the unknown on his own terms. Opposing him is Lockdown, one of the most chilling antagonists in the franchise. Voiced with icy precision, Lockdown isn't a Decepticon or an Autobot. He's something else entirely. A bounty hunter with allegiance only to his mysterious masters, the creators. His mission is cold. Retrieve Optimus, destroy the rest, no emotional investment. But it's that lack of ideology that makes him so terrifying. He doesn't believe in anything. He's pure execution, cold and methodical. Every time he appears on screen, the tone shifts. His ship, his magnetic weapon, his calm, calculated movements, they all reflect a being who doesn't need chaos to win. Just precision. His scenes with Optimus are charged. When he says, "You think you were born, you were built," it shakes the very identity Optimus holds sacred. And that's what Lockdown is, an existential threat. Not just to Optimus, but to everything the Autobots believe in. On the human front, Joshua Joyce, played by Stanley Tucci, brings a different kind of energy. He starts as a tech mogul, gleefully exploiting Transformer remains for corporate gain, convinced that mankind can improve on alien design. But unlike Attinger, Joyce isn't driven by malice. His flaw is arrogance. He thinks he can control what he doesn't understand. Tucci plays him with a blend of charm and manic intensity. He's not evil, he's deluded. But when things start to fall apart, Joyce doesn't double down. He sees the danger. He panics. He changes. That transformation, from smug inventor to reluctant accomplice in Earth's defense, makes him more than just comic relief. He's a mirror to the film's themes of redemption. Harold Attinger, by contrast, is cold to the core. Kelsey Grammer delivers a performance that's all steely resolve and moral detachment. He sees Autobots as a threat not because of what they've done, but because of what they could do. His logic is brutal. Eliminate them before they become unstoppable. Attinger isn't a megalomaniac, he's a bureaucrat. That's what makes him so dangerous. He believes he's protecting humanity, even as he aligns with Lockdown and trades lives for power. His death at the hands of Optimus isn't just vengeance. It's a cleansing. The final break from the systems that tried to control forces beyond comprehension. Even the supporting Autobots have weight. Bumblebee, ever loyal and expressive despite his broken voice box, serves as the heart of the team. He's younger, more playful, but fiercely protective. His rivalry with Stinger, the KSI-built copy of himself, adds humor and heart. Hound, voiced with gruff charm, becomes the bruiser of the crew. Gun-loving, loud, but dependable. Drift, the samurai-inspired warrior, adds elegance and wisdom. Crosshairs, sarcastic and skeptical, offers comic relief and grounded skepticism. Each of them adds texture to the Autobot ranks, showing how survivors cope in a world where they're constantly hunted. And then there's Galvatron, the ultimate twist. A transformer built by humans using Megatron's remains, only to become something far more dangerous. Galvatron isn't born, he's resurrected. And he's terrifying not because he's loud, but because he represents human hubris run amok. His arc is only beginning, but even his limited screen time establishes him as a looming threat. He isn't finished. He's evolving. Finally, the Dinobots, Grimlock and company, don't speak, but their presence is monumental. They are ancient, raw power, unleashed in the film's final act like forgotten gods answering a call to war. Optimus must fight Grimlock to earn his allegiance, and in doing so, proves he still deserves to lead. Their arrival turns the tide, not just in battle, but in tone. The war becomes mythic. It's not just machines fighting, it's legends awakening. Together, these characters form the emotional spine of Age of Extinction. The film isn't just about explosions and spectacle. It's about trust broken and rebuilt, about finding meaning in chaos, about believing in something again, whether you're a human grieving a lost life or a robot questioning your very creation. When Transformers: Age of Extinction begins, it does more than reboot the franchise's cast. It resets the mythos itself. But what makes this film particularly rewarding for attentive viewers is the sheer volume of hidden details, symbolic moments, and Easter eggs embedded within every set piece and line of dialogue. Beneath its colossal action sequences and explosive visuals lies a rich layer of storytelling designed to reward not only longtime fans of the Transformers lore, but anyone who pays close attention to visual language, music, and subtle callbacks. The film opens with a flashback to prehistoric Earth, millions of years ago. At first glance, it seems like a standard prologue, but it actually lays the foundation for the movie's deepest mythological element. The arrival of alien ships to wipe out the dinosaurs isn't just spectacle. It's the secret history of the Transformers creators, the mysterious beings known as the Creators, whose existence is only briefly mentioned but whose influence haunts the entire film. The machines that turn organic life into metallic transformium don't just erase life, they repurpose it. This moment is deeply symbolic, showing a cosmic cycle of destruction and recreation. Later, when the Dinobots reawaken and fight alongside Optimus, the visual narrative completes a full circle. Creatures once wiped out by machines now rise as mechanical beasts to help save Earth. And speaking of Dinobots, their presence is one of the most layered and anticipated elements in the film. While they only appear in the final act, their design holds deep nostalgic roots. Grimlock, Strafe, Slug, and Scorn may not be called out by name in dialogue, but fans recognize them instantly. Their visual design is a creative evolution of their original 1980s counterparts, blending prehistoric silhouettes with armored plating and tribal-style engravings that suggest they're not just mechanical but ancient warriors. Grimlock's transformation into a mechanical T-Rex is more than fan service. It represents the unleashing of something primal, untamed, and necessary in a world increasingly dominated by synthetic and controlled power. Cade Yeager's farmhouse and workshop in Texas hold their own set of secrets. The way the camera lingers on the cluttered tools, rusted machinery, and retro memorabilia doesn't just establish his character. It subtly contrasts with the sleek, sterile labs of KSI. Cade represents the human instinct to build and repair, not to manufacture and dominate. One could even see his garage as a metaphor for Earth itself. Flawed, scattered, human, but still capable of greatness. And when Cade discovers Optimus Prime, hidden and wounded, rusting in an old truck form, it's not just a plot device. It's a metaphor for forgotten power waiting to be rediscovered, and it echoes a central theme, that something discarded still has worth. When Optimus finally transforms in front of Cade and Tessa for the first time, the film uses not only visual effects but a carefully remixed sound, echoing the iconic transformation noise from the original animated series. It's been updated, but the essence remains, a subtle auditory callback that roots this modern film in the legacy of its predecessors. The film is also filled with clever cinematic foreshadowing. One of the earliest comes during Cade's interactions with Tessa's boyfriend, Shane. The tension between Cade and Shane initially seems like comic relief, but it mirrors Optimus's distrust of humans. Just as Cade must decide whether to trust Shane, Optimus later struggles with trusting humanity again after being betrayed. These parallel arcs serve to mirror each other, the father's guarded heart and the alien warrior's wounded honor. The antagonist, Lockdown, isn't just a new villain, he's a conceptual shift. He isn't a Decepticon or an Autobot, which alone sets him apart. His cold demeanor and surgical precision as a bounty hunter suggest a larger, more ordered force at work. Every time Lockdown appears, he brings with him a visual cue. His ship looms with geometric consistency, with angled architecture that contrasts sharply with the rounder, more chaotic designs of Earth structures. The inside of his ship, filled with trophies and caged specimens, reads like a twisted museum of war, where civilizations are reduced to objects. His own design, complete with a retractable face cannon and a detached, robotic gate, speaks volumes without exposition. He's not just a killer, he's a keeper of order for some higher power. His line to Optimus, "You think you were born, you were built, and they want you back," isn't just villainous posturing. It is the film's core existential crisis wrapped in a single moment. Then there's Galvatron, who technically isn't Megatron, but is also not entirely separate. Built by humans using Megatron's remains, Galvatron becomes the vessel for Megatron's rebirth, literally and metaphorically. When the KSI scientists think they're in control, programming a new kind of transformer, they inadvertently resurrect a ghost. The moment Galvatron takes control of his own transformation is a chilling inversion of Frankenstein's monster, creation turning on creator. The way his transformation differs, breaking into a swarm of particles before reforming, serves as a visual metaphor for loss of structure, of predictability, and of the familiar rules of Transformers physiology. He is not reborn. He is reinvented. Inside the KSI lab, there's a brief but telling exchange where the lead developer mentions reverse engineering alien technology. The subtext is clear. Humans, once awestruck by these beings, now believe they can improve on them. It's hubris dressed up as progress. The sleek, emotionless drone designs of Stinger and the other KSI bots stand in stark contrast to the worn, scarred forms of the Autobots. And this difference isn't just aesthetic. It's philosophical. The Autobots are living beings with souls, memory, and history. The KSI creations are lifeless, devoid of personality. Their perfection is their flaw. Stanley Tucci's character, Joshua Joyce, is full of contradictions. He begins the story as an Elon Musk-style visionary, arrogant, brilliant, and completely unaware of the consequences of his actions. But as the film progresses, the layers peel back. His nervous breakdowns, panicked yelling, and eventual cooperation with the heroes reveal a man realizing the monster he's helped unleash. His change of heart isn't instantaneous, but it's genuine, and his comedic panic serves as a human counterweight to the cold logic of his creations. Even wardrobe and costume choices add to the hidden layers. Cade's denim and dirt aesthetic makes him visually the antithesis of KSI's business suits and clean labs. He's not polished, but he's real. Tessa's outfit, initially seemingly designed for visual appeal, later takes on practicality, tight-fitting so it doesn't snag or slow her down during action scenes, subtly showing her evolution from protected teen to survivalist. One of the most fun and blink-can-you'll-miss-it Easter eggs comes from Bumblebee. Throughout the film, he communicates through voice clips sampled from Earth media. In one moment, he uses a line from The Big Lebowski, "I'm perfectly calm, dude." This isn't just a random pull. It's a nod to John Goodman, who voices Hound, adding a layer of meta-humor that sharp-eared fans will appreciate. Bumblebee's speech patterns, like his combat style, are a collage of Earth culture mimicry turned identity. His struggle to communicate is matched by his fiercely expressive personality, making him more relatable than many humans in the film. Hound, meanwhile, is a walking tribute to military archetypes. His cigar, belly bulge, and constant barrage of war stories evoke the image of a battle-hardened vet who has seen it all. But look closer, and you'll see that his brashness hides vulnerability. His complaints about losing comrades, about fighting wars that never end, suggest trauma disguised as bravado. His physical design, with belts of ammunition and a wild beard, reflects the chaos he's internalized. Crosshairs and Drift bring their own layers. Crosshairs is the skeptic, the pragmatist, always commenting from the sidelines but never abandoning the team. His trench coat-like wings and sharp green color scheme give him a noir anti-hero vibe. Drift, on the other hand, is a samurai in both aesthetic and philosophy. His dialogue is full of wisdom, restraint, and discipline. His transformation into a Bugatti Veyron, a car known for speed and elegance, perfectly complements his graceful swordsmanship. Together, these characters round out the Autobot team with distinct personalities, philosophies, and visual languages. There are also clever nods to geography and staging. When the action shifts to China, the film uses locations like Wulong-Karst in Chongqing and the glass towers of Hong Kong not just for spectacle, but to signal a shift in tone, an ancient. From the very first moments of Transformers, Age of Extinction, it's clear this film intends to redefine the scope and scale of the franchise. But beyond the massive explosions and groundbreaking CGI lies a collection of moments that resonate deeply, shaping the emotional core and thematic essence of the story in ways that often go unnoticed on a first viewing. These scenes are the heartbeats within the sprawling spectacle, connecting audiences to the characters and elevating the film beyond a mere action blockbuster. One of the earliest standout moments comes with Cade Yeager's discovery of Optimus Prime, long believed dead and hidden beneath layers of rust and forgotten memories. This scene is more than a simple resurrection. It's a profound symbol of hope and renewal. Cade's wonder and cautious reverence breathe life into Optimus, signaling a rekindling of a protector's spirit not just for Earth, but for humanity itself. The meticulous attention to detail, from the creaks of ancient metal to the flickering of dim lights, draws viewers into a sacred moment, one that underscores the theme of rediscovering lost strength. Emotionally, this moment bridges the gap between the human and the mechanical, suggesting that sometimes salvation lies in what we've neglected or discarded. Following this, the film's portrayal of family dynamics offers some of its most intimate and relatable scenes. Cade's relationship with his daughter Tessa and her boyfriend Shane injects grounded humanity into an otherwise cosmic narrative. Their conflicts, teasing, and moments of solidarity highlight the film's underlying message. Amidst chaos and destruction, the bonds we forge define us. A seemingly small scene where Cade teaches Tessa how to ride a motorcycle is layered with unspoken affection and trust, juxtaposing the innocence of youth with the looming threats from giant robots and government conspiracies. The audience's emotional investment grows here, because it's clear these aren't just set pieces. They're a family trying to survive and protect one another. The introduction of Lockdown, the cold, merciless bounty hunter, marks another pivotal shift in tone and stakes. His scenes crackle with menace, setting him apart from the more familiar Decepticons. When Lockdown first appears aboard his alien ship, the ominous silence and his mechanical precision create a chilling atmosphere. This is no mere villain with brute force. He embodies order, control, and a cosmic bureaucracy far beyond Earth's petty squabbles. His pursuit of Optimus Prime introduces the theme of destiny versus free will. Lockdown's cold assertion that Optimus was built, not born, forces both the character and the audience to question identity and purpose. This philosophical undertone enriches the narrative, elevating the film from high-octane action to existential exploration. One cannot overlook the impact of the film's breathtaking action sequences, many of which have become iconic within the franchise. The highway chase scene, where Autobots and their new KSI-built rivals clash amid speeding vehicles and crumbling infrastructure, is an adrenaline-fueled showcase of visual storytelling. Here, the choreography is not just about spectacle. It's a ballet of destruction that also highlights character traits. Optimus Prime's protective instincts come alive as he shields humans, while Bumblebee's clever tactics emphasize his resourcefulness and loyalty. This sequence earned widespread acclaim for balancing chaos with clarity, allowing viewers to follow the action without feeling lost, a feat that speaks to the film's technical mastery and respect for audience engagement. The reveal of the Dinobots later in the film represents another emotionally charged milestone. Their awakening is met with both awe and dread, symbolizing the unleashing of primal forces in a world dominated by synthetic control. Grimlock's towering T-Rex form stomping through Hong Kong's futuristic skyline is a breathtaking image that lingers long after the scene ends. More than visual spectacle, the Dinobots embody themes of rebellion and nature's resilience. Their alliance with the Autobots reinforces the idea that sometimes, to fight overwhelming odds, one must embrace their wild, untamed side. Audience reactions to this reveal often mix nostalgia with exhilaration, as fans of the original cartoons see beloved characters brought to life with a modern twist, while new viewers are swept away by their raw power. Central to the film's emotional core is the evolving relationship between Optimus Prime and Cade Yeager. Their alliance is more than just convenience. It's a merging of ideals and hopes. When Optimus chooses to trust Cade with his fate, the weight of leadership and sacrifice is palpable. Their final stand against Lockdown and Galvatron is as much a battle for Earth's future as it is a testament to loyalty and courage. Optimus's decision to sacrifice himself to save others, coupled with Cade's unwavering support, speaks volumes about heroism in the face of insurmountable odds. This shared resolve connects deeply with audiences, reminding us that true strength often lies in selflessness. The film's climactic confrontation between Optimus and Galvatron is layered with symbolism and raw emotional energy. Galvatron, a twisted incarnation of Megatron, represents corrupted power, once noble, now tainted by human hubris and technological manipulation. Their battle is brutal and visually stunning, but its true power lies in what it represents: the conflict between authentic legacy and manufactured dominance. Optimus's struggles and ultimate triumph affirm the enduring values of honor, freedom, and identity. The audience is left not just exhilarated but thoughtful, pondering the consequences of playing God with technology and the importance of staying true to one's origins. Beyond these headline moments, the film excels at weaving smaller yet impactful scenes that deepen the narrative texture. For example, the tension-filled interrogation of Cade by CIA operatives subtly critiques government overreach and the fear of the unknown. These moments ground the sci-fi fantasy in contemporary anxieties, making the story resonate on a real-world level. The uneasy alliance that eventually forms between humans and Autobots highlights themes of trust and cooperation across perceived boundaries, a hopeful message amid chaos. Stanley Tucci's portrayal of Joshua Joyce brings a nuanced villainous layer rarely seen in blockbuster antagonists. His descent from confident entrepreneur to desperate man grasping for control adds complexity to the film's conflict. His breakdown scenes, punctuated with moments of regret and panic, humanize a character who could have been a one-dimensional villain. This complexity invites the audience to reflect on the fine line between innovation and recklessness, ambition and morality. The film's pacing also contributes significantly to the audience's experience of these key moments. Director Michael Bay masterfully balances high-energy sequences with quieter, character-driven scenes, ensuring viewers are not overwhelmed but instead drawn into a rhythmic journey of tension and release. Moments like Tessa's poignant confrontation with her father provide emotional breathing room, reminding us why we care about the characters amidst the explosions and robot battles. Visually, the film's use of color and light enhances the emotional impact of key scenes. The bright, sunlit Texas landscapes where Cade's family resides contrast sharply with the cold, sterile labs of KSI and the shadowy depths of Lockdown's ship. This visual dichotomy supports the film's thematic conflict between organic life and synthetic control. The neon-lit urban environments of Hong Kong, where the final battles unfold, create a vibrant yet chaotic backdrop, emphasizing the clash between old and new worlds. Audience reactions to these critical scenes have been varied but consistently intense. Many fans praise the film for reinvigorating the franchise with fresh characters and high stakes, while some critics point to the film's length and pacing as challenges. However, most agree that the emotional resonance in key moments, especially the human-robot relationships and the Dinobots' debut, elevate the film beyond simple entertainment. The mixture of nostalgia, thrilling spectacle, and genuine character moments creates a unique viewing experience that invites repeated watching and discussion. In the end, Transformers: Age of Extinction is a film of contrasts between man and machine, past and future, chaos and order. Its key moments crystallize these conflicts and invite viewers to look beyond the surface. Whether it's Optimus's solemn vow to protect Earth, Cade's steadfast devotion to his family, or the Dinobots' roaring declaration of power, each scene contributes to a larger tapestry that celebrates resilience, identity, and the enduring fight for what is right. This rich layering of action, emotion, and theme is why these pivotal scenes leave such a lasting impression. They remind us that even in a world of colossal robots and intergalactic battles, the most powerful stories are those that touch the heart and Transformers. Age of Extinction delivers that in every explosive frame. As Transformers: Age of Extinction unfolds, it quickly becomes clear that beneath its titanic battles and dazzling visual spectacle lies a complex tapestry of themes and symbolism that speak to much more than just the surface-level clash between robots and humans. The film taps into timeless questions of identity, trust, and transformation, while also engaging with pressing social concerns around technology, control, and environmental stewardship. These deeper currents enrich the story, inviting viewers not only to witness an epic sci-fi adventure, but to reflect on the world around them. At its core, the movie grapples with the question of what it truly means to be alive, and more importantly, to have agency. This is most poignantly embodied in the figure of Optimus Prime, whose journey from hiding and self-doubt to reclaimed leadership mirrors a universal struggle for self-definition. Early in the film, Optimus's near-death and concealment suggest a loss of purpose, an identity fractured by trauma and betrayal. When Cade Yeager discovers him, Optimus is more machine than hero, rusted, vulnerable, unsure. Yet as the story progresses, he is reborn not simply as a warrior, but as a protector and symbol of hope. This transformation speaks to the resilience of spirit, emphasizing that even when we feel broken or cast aside, we can find strength through connection and conviction. The film's recurring motif of being built, not born, as Lockdown chillingly states, raises existential questions about creation and free will. Lockdown's view reduces existence to design and function, stripping away autonomy and purpose beyond assigned roles. In stark contrast, Optimus's journey asserts the power of choice, memory, and morality. This tension between determinism and self-determination is a subtle yet profound thematic thread running throughout the narrative. It asks the audience to consider what truly defines us. Is it the sum of our parts, or the choices we make despite them? Linked closely to this is the film's exploration of legacy and memory. The old Autobots who fell during previous battles are remembered, honored, and mourned by the survivors, underscoring the importance of history and sacrifice. Cade's reverence for old technology in his workshop mirrors this theme on a human scale, suggesting that preservation of the past is essential to forging the future. The reawakening of the Dinobots, ancient creatures transformed into mechanical beasts, embodies this fusion of memory and rebirth. They carry the echoes of a prehistoric past into a futuristic conflict, reminding us that evolution, whether biological or technological, is never purely linear but layered and cyclical. The film also deftly weaves a social commentary on the dangers of unchecked technological ambition. The human corporation KSI, led by Joshua Joyce, symbolizes the hubris of attempting to control and commodify life itself. Their cold, clinical approach to replicating and weaponizing transformer technology reflects real-world anxieties about artificial intelligence, bioengineering, and corporate overreach. The KSI drones, sleek and emotionless, starkly contrast with the Autobots' deeply personal identities, highlighting the difference between mechanized efficiency and living spirit. This narrative tension echoes contemporary debates about the ethical boundaries of science and the potential consequences when profit and control override compassion and responsibility. Environmental themes subtly permeate the film as well. The introduction prologue, depicting alien ships wiping out the dinosaurs, serves as a cosmic allegory of extinction, resilience, and rebirth. Later, the setting shifts to Texas, a landscape marked by open fields and rustic machinery, evoking a more organic connection to the earth. Cade's character, a tinkerer who fixes old machines rather than replaces them, symbolizes a respect for sustainability and hands-on stewardship. The Dinobots' emergence further reinforces nature's enduring power, their prehistoric forms wreaking havoc on modern cityscapes and symbolizing the clash between natural order and artificial dominance. This clash becomes a powerful metaphor for humanity's ongoing struggle to balance progress with preservation. Family and loyalty form another vital thematic pillar. Cade's protective relationship with his daughter Tessa and her boyfriend Shane echoes the Autobots' own bonds. The film repeatedly emphasizes that true strength arises not just from power or technology, but from the connections we nurture and the sacrifices we make for loved ones. The Autobots' willingness to protect humanity, even when betrayed or hunted, underscores this message of trust and forgiveness. It's a reminder that empathy and loyalty can bridge the gulf between very different beings and that alliances are forged not by birth or design but by shared purpose and respect. Symbolism abounds in the film's visual and narrative elements. Optimus Prime's redesign as a knight-like figure wielding a sword and shield is a deliberate invocation of medieval chivalry, imbuing him with the aura of a paladin or guardian. This choice reflects the film's thematic emphasis on honor, duty, and moral clarity amid chaos. The sword itself becomes a symbol of righteousness and sacrifice, a stark contrast to the cold weaponry of KSI's creations and Lockdown's bounty-hunting tools. In this way, the film subtly frames its central conflict as a battle not just of strength but of values. The film's use of geography and setting further enhances its thematic texture. The transition from rural Texas to the sprawling urban landscapes of China signals a shift from individual, grounded humanity to a globalized, technology-driven world. Hong Kong's glittering skyline, punctured by the destructive rampages of the Dinobots, becomes a visual metaphor for the fragility of modern civilization in the face of primal forces and unchecked ambition. This juxtaposition invites reflection on globalization's double-edged sword, bringing connectivity and advancement, but also vulnerability and alienation. Moreover, Age of Extinction subtly comments on surveillance and governmental control. The CIA's aggressive pursuit of the Autobots and Cade reflects a world increasingly fearful of the unknown and quick to respond with suspicion and force. This mistrust mirrors contemporary concerns over privacy, militarization, and the balance between security and freedom. The film doesn't offer easy answers but instead portrays these conflicts with nuance, showing both the necessity of vigilance and the dangers of paranoia and dehumanization. The character of Joshua Joyce encapsulates many of these societal anxieties. His arc from visionary entrepreneur to desperate, unraveling man highlights the pitfalls of unchecked capitalism and the ethical compromises made in the name of innovation. His character illustrates the fine line between genius and madness, ambition and recklessness, a reflection of modern tech moguls' dual potential to create and destroy. His nervous breakdowns and frantic attempts to control Galvatron symbolize the loss of control that often accompanies attempts to manipulate forces beyond human understanding. The film's portrayal of identity, both personal and collective, is further enriched by the tension between the original Autobots and the new, human-engineered Transformers. This clash raises questions about authenticity and imitation, nature versus artifice. Galvatron's emergence as a synthetic version of Megatron embodies this theme, presenting a corrupted echo of true power. The struggle between Galvatron and Optimus thus transcends physical combat, becoming a battle for the soul and legacy of the Transformers themselves. It reflects broader cultural fears of losing authenticity in an age of mass production, replication, and artificial enhancement. Bumblebee's struggle to communicate using snippets of human voices serves as a poignant metaphor for alienation and adaptation. His patchwork speech pattern embodies the challenges of bridging cultures and the longing to be understood, a subtle commentary on immigration, assimilation, and the search for identity in a fragmented world. Meanwhile, characters like Drift, with his samurai-inspired code of honor, bring in themes of discipline, tradition, and the reconciliation of past and present values. The film's score and sound design also contribute to its thematic richness. The juxtaposition of orchestral motifs with futuristic, synthesized sounds mirrors the blend of ancient and modern, organic and mechanical. Music cues emphasize moments of transformation, loss, and triumph, guiding the emotional journey and reinforcing the narrative's deeper messages. Throughout the film, the notion of transformation extends beyond the physical into the metaphorical. Characters and settings evolve, identities shift, and alliances form and dissolve, reflecting the fluid nature of existence and the constant negotiation between past and future. The final scenes, where Optimus Prime departs Earth to confront the creators, leave viewers contemplating the ongoing journey towards self-realization and the unknown challenges that lie ahead. From the very first frame of Transformers, Age of Extinction, it's evident that the film is as much a visual spectacle as it is a narrative journey. Director Michael Bay's signature style, marked by kinetic energy, grand scale, and relentless motion, forms the backbone of the movie's cinematic identity. But beneath the surface lies a sophisticated orchestration of techniques that work in concert to immerse viewers fully in the story. This is a film where every camera angle, every cut, every sonic cue contributes not just to excitement, but to meaning and emotional resonance. The cinematography, led by Jonathan Sela, plays a crucial role in shaping the film's epic feel. Wide, sweeping shots establish the vastness of both the human world and the cosmic battlegrounds where the Transformers operate. The opening scenes contrast the sprawling Texan landscapes, marked by warm, natural light and rugged textures, with the sterile, clinical environments of KSI's laboratories. This visual dichotomy sets up a recurring thematic tension between nature and technology, chaos and control. The camera often lingers on these spaces, inviting audiences to absorb the mood and stakes before plunging into the next explosion or chase. Sela's use of handheld cameras during intimate character moments provides a stark contrast to the sweeping grandeur, grounding the story in personal experience. When Cade Yeager interacts with his daughter or tinkers in his workshop, the camera moves with a more fluid, organic rhythm, sometimes shaky, sometimes gently tracking, mirroring the imperfect, messy beauty of human life. This technique draws viewers into the character's world, making their struggles and relationships feel tangible amid the larger-than-life robot battles. One of the film's standout visual storytelling methods is its mastery of perspective. Bay frequently employs low-angle shots to emphasize the towering stature of the Transformers, making their immense scale almost palpable. These shots are often paired with close-ups of human characters looking up in awe or fear, visually conveying the gulf between the two worlds. Conversely, moments of vulnerability, such as Optimus Prime's near defeat or Cade's personal doubts, are captured through tighter framing and muted colors, inviting empathy and underscoring emotional stakes. Editing by Roger Barton is a dance of rhythm and clarity in a film that could easily have become chaotic. The pacing alternates between rapid-fire cuts during action sequences and longer takes in quieter scenes, maintaining audience engagement without sacrificing coherence. The highway chase, a sequence that has drawn particular acclaim, showcases this balance expertly. Despite the frenetic energy, the edits follow a logical spatial flow, helping viewers track the movements of multiple characters and machines across a complex environment. The careful intercutting of perspectives, shifting from the Autobot's strategic maneuvers to the human driver's peril, heightens suspense and emotional investment. Visual effects are, naturally, a cornerstone of the film's storytelling. Industrial Light and Magic's groundbreaking work on rendering the Transformers brings a level of detail and realism that pushes the boundaries of what CGI can achieve. Each Transformer is composed of thousands of moving parts, and the fluidity of their transformations is both a technical marvel and a narrative device. The mechanical intricacy reflects the complexity of the characters themselves, their dual existence as both machines and beings with consciousness and emotions. The sheer tactile feel of metal grinding, pistons pumping, and gears clicking makes these giants feel alive, bridging the gap between fantasy and reality. The lighting design complements this realism by varying between stark, high-contrast scenes during battles and softer, more natural light in moments of human connection. In particular, the nighttime urban scenes in Hong Kong employ neon glows and reflections to create a cyberpunk atmosphere, blending futuristic cityscapes with organic chaos. The interplay of light and shadow here evokes a world teetering between order and anarchy, perfectly echoing the film's thematic concerns. Sound design elevates the experience to another level, enveloping the audience in a rich auditory landscape that is as detailed as the visuals. Every metallic clang, servomotor whir, and laser blast is crafted to give the Transformers unique acoustic signatures, making their presence tangible even in silence. The deep, guttural growls of Grimlock contrast with the sharper, more mechanical sounds of the KSI drones, reinforcing the narrative divide between primal force and artificial replication. This attention to auditory detail enhances immersion, as viewers are not just watching but feeling the impact of every move. Steve Jablonsky's musical score is a vital narrative thread woven through the film. His composition blends orchestral grandeur with electronic textures, mirroring the fusion of ancient and futuristic elements within the story. The leitmotifs assigned to characters like Optimus Prime and the Dinobots evolve throughout the film, shifting subtly to reflect their emotional journeys. Optimus's theme, for instance, starts with a heroic, almost melancholic tone but gains strength and urgency as he reclaims his role as protector. This musical evolution deepens the audience's connection, turning battles into personal quests and victories into catharses. Bay's distinctive visual flourishes, such as slow-motion sequences during pivotal combat moments, serve to heighten drama and emphasize impact. These moments often focus on a character's expression or a key symbolic gesture, allowing viewers to savor the emotional weight amid chaos. The use of rapid zoom-ins and whip pans intensifies tension, while aerial shots provide breathtaking vistas that showcase the film's scale. These choices create a roller coaster rhythm that keeps the audience both exhilarated and emotionally grounded. The costume and production design also contribute to storytelling through visual cues. The Transformers' designs blend mechanical complexity with personality. Optimus Prime's knightly armor and glowing eyes evoke nobility, while Galvatron's jagged edges and dark hues signal menace and corruption. Human characters' clothing and settings reflect their roles and arcs, from Cade's rugged workwear symbolizing resilience and authenticity to Joshua Joyce's sleek corporate suits representing ambition and control. These visual codes guide viewers subconsciously, enriching character understanding without explicit exposition. Color grading throughout the film supports emotional tone shifts. Warmer palettes dominate scenes of familial warmth and hope, while colder, desaturated hues permeate moments of danger and alienation. The gradual infusion of metallic blues and grays as the story progresses mirrors the encroachment of technology and the blurring line between human and machine. This subtle chromatic storytelling layers the narrative, adding psychological depth. The film's narrative structure is also enhanced through visual motifs and recurring imagery. For example, the repeated use of shattered glass symbolizes broken trust and the fragility of alliances. Mirrors and reflections appear in moments of introspection, emphasizing themes of identity and duality. These visual echoes invite attentive viewers to piece together symbolic connections, rewarding engagement with richer understanding. Even the placement of the Transformers within the frame tells a story. In many scenes, Optimus Prime stands centrally and upright, dominating the composition and signifying leadership and moral clarity. By contrast, Galvatron is often framed in off-center, skewed angles or shadows, visually reinforcing his role as an unstable, threatening force. These compositional choices subtly guide audience perceptions and emotional responses. Sound editing cleverly uses silence or near silence to punctuate tension. Moments when the hum of machinery fades or the battlefield quiets heighten anticipation and focus attention on character reactions. This contrast between cacophony and quiet deepens emotional impact, allowing viewers to breathe between adrenaline bursts and absorb stakes more fully. Bay's penchant for integrating practical effects with CGI adds tactile authenticity. Explosions triggered on set blend seamlessly with digital enhancements, rooting fantastic sequences in reality and intensifying visceral reactions. This marriage of effects styles keeps action sequences grounded, ensuring that amidst the fantasy, the stakes feel immediate and real. The film also innovates with camera movement to express emotional and narrative shifts. Tracking shots following Cade through his workshop emphasize his active role and restless energy, while static shots during moments of loss or reflection create pauses for audience empathy. Rapid cuts during battle contrast with lingering takes in quieter scenes, balancing chaos with calm and aligning rhythm with story beats. The interplay of all these cinematic elements culminates in a visual and auditory symphony that shapes the audience's journey through the film. From the soaring helicopter shots that place viewers above the sprawling battlefields to the intimate close-ups of human eyes reflecting robotic giants, every frame is meticulously crafted to convey scale, emotion, and meaning. As the dust settles on the explosive spectacle that is Transformers: Age of Extinction, its true legacy reveals itself not only through box office numbers or dazzling visuals, but in how it reshaped the landscape of blockbuster filmmaking and cultural imagination. This 2014 installment, with its bold reinvention of a beloved franchise, stands as a pivotal moment in the evolution of the Transformers saga and, more broadly, in the realm of action cinema. It dared to push boundaries, reimagine familiar narratives, and bring a fresh, if polarizing, energy to a global audience hungry for larger-than-life stories. From its release on June 27, 2014, the film signaled a distinct shift. Michael Bay's vision, marked by heightened scale and intensified visual effects, redefined what audiences expected from the franchise. While previous Transformers films leaned heavily on nostalgia and the charm of familiar characters, Age of Extinction was a deliberate fresh start. A soft reboot that introduced new human leads, new Transformer designs, and a darker, more complex storyline. This reinvention showed the franchise's remarkable adaptability and willingness to evolve, setting a precedent for how long-running series can refresh themselves without losing core identity. The film's massive commercial success, grossing over $1 billion worldwide, underscored its resonance across diverse markets. It was especially groundbreaking in China, where it broke box office records and cemented Hollywood's recognition of the country's rising cultural and economic influence. This strategic embrace of international audiences altered Hollywood's production and marketing approach, inspiring studios to consider global tastes and sensibilities more deeply. Age of Extinction became a landmark example of how blockbuster films can transcend cultural boundaries while delivering universally thrilling entertainment. Moreover, the film's groundbreaking visual effects raised the bar for CGI in blockbuster cinema. Industrial Light and Magic's work on rendering intricate mechanical transformations was a technological marvel that influenced not only subsequent Transformers films but countless other action and sci-fi projects. The meticulous detail and fluidity of the robot's movements set new standards for realism in digital animation, inspiring a generation of visual effects artists and pushing the industry toward ever more sophisticated, immersive worlds. Critically, Age of Extinction sparked intense debate and influence in its own right about the nature of spectacle versus storytelling in modern cinema. While some critics lambasted it for prioritizing bombast over nuance, others defended its ambitious scope and emotional undercurrents. This polarization highlighted evolving audience expectations and open dialogue on the balance between visual grandeur and narrative depth. In doing so, the film played a crucial role in shaping conversations around blockbuster filmmaking, influencing how directors and studios approach action epics. The movie's impact extended beyond the screen into popular culture. Characters like Optimus Prime, reimagined with knightly gravitas, and the Dinobots, blending prehistoric power with mechanized fury, rekindled fan enthusiasm and inspired a new wave of merchandise, fan art, and cosplay. The film's iconic sequences, the highway chase, the Hong Kong battle, Grimlock's ferocious rampage, became reference points in media and entertainment, echoed in video games, comic books, and even theme park attractions. It revitalized the Transformers brand, ensuring its continued relevance in a crowded entertainment landscape. Awards and industry recognition, while modest compared to its commercial impact, acknowledged the film's technical achievements. Nominations for visual effects, sound editing, and production design at major ceremonies celebrated the craftsmanship involved in bringing such a complex world to life. These accolades not only honored individual talents but also reinforced the importance of technical innovation as a cornerstone of cinematic storytelling. Beyond accolades and box office, Age of Extinction's true cultural significance lies in its thematic explorations. Its meditations on identity, technology, and human-machine relationships resonate increasingly in today's rapidly digitizing society. The film's portrayal of artificial intelligence, corporate greed, and environmental conflict echoes ongoing global conversations, allowing it to serve as a mirror reflecting contemporary anxieties and hopes. This alignment with real-world issues grants it a depth that invites repeated viewing and thoughtful discussion, cementing its place not just as entertainment but as a cultural artifact. In retrospect, the film's influence is also evident in the ways it shaped the franchise's future trajectory. Its introduction of new characters, narrative threads, and tonal shifts paved the way for sequels and spin-offs, broadening the Transformers universe's scope. The successful blend of intense action with moments of genuine emotional connection demonstrated that audiences crave more than spectacle. They desire stories that engage both heart and mind. This lesson reverberated through subsequent installments and other blockbuster franchises striving to balance commercial appeal with narrative richness. Ultimately, Transformers: Age of Extinction endures because it embodies the spirit of transformation itself, not just in its mechanical heroes, but in its willingness to evolve, challenge conventions, and reflect its era's complexities. It invites audiences to reconsider what blockbuster cinema can achieve when it dares to combine cutting-edge technology with mythic storytelling and social reflection. In a cinematic landscape often dominated by safe formulas, the film's ambition and scope remain striking. As we look back, the movie stands as a testament to the power of reinvention and the enduring appeal of epic tales told on a colossal scale. It captures a moment when technology, culture, and storytelling converged to create a phenomenon that transcended screens and borders, inspiring awe and debate alike. Transformers: Age of Extinction is more than a summer blockbuster. It is a cultural landmark that challenged perceptions, expanded horizons, and ultimately transformed the genre it belongs to. As we draw this journey through Transformers: Age of Extinction to a close, it's clear that this film is far more than just another entry in a sprawling franchise. It is a cinematic event, a visual feast, and a complex tapestry of storytelling ambition that dared to transform what audiences expected from blockbuster action films. From its breathtaking visual effects to its intricate character arcs, from its thematic depth to its cultural resonance, this movie stakes its claim as a landmark in contemporary cinema. At its core, Age of Extinction stands out because it embraces transformation in every sense of the word. It revives a franchise with fresh faces and new perspectives, while honoring the legacy of the original characters that fans cherish. It melds cutting-edge technology with mythic storytelling, showing us that beneath the gears and metal of the Transformers lie stories of loyalty, sacrifice, and identity. The film's breathtaking action sequences, whether the pulse-pounding highway chase, the explosive battles in urban jungles, or the awe-inspiring emergence of the Dinobots, are not mere spectacle. They serve to elevate the emotional stakes and deepen our investment in this struggle between good and evil. The human element woven through the story grounds the cosmic scale, reminding us that amidst colossal battles, it is human courage, resilience, and connection that ultimately steer the course. Cade Yeager's determination and Optimus Prime's unwavering sense of justice embody timeless heroic virtues, making their journey relatable even as they navigate a world of impossible machines. The interplay between humanity and technology is delicately balanced, offering reflections on power, responsibility, and coexistence that resonate with our contemporary moment. Technically, the film represents a leap forward in visual storytelling. Industrial light and magic's groundbreaking effects breathe life into complex robotic characters with unparalleled realism and detail. Cinematographer Jonathan Sila's eye for scale and texture, combined with Roger Barton's deft editing, crafts a rhythm that keeps audiences both exhilarated and emotionally engaged. The soundscape and Steve Jablonsky's evocative score heighten every moment, weaving tension and triumph into a seamless audiovisual experience. These elements coalesce into a cinematic language that is distinctively Michael Bay, bold, grandiose, and unafraid to push limits, yet crafted with care and precision. Beyond the screen, the film's cultural impact reverberates strongly. Its record-breaking success in global markets, especially in China, reshaped Hollywood's approach to international audiences and blockbuster marketing. The introduction of new characters, narrative directions, and thematic explorations revitalized the franchise and sparked vibrant discussions among fans and critics alike. Whether one praises its audacity or critiques its excess, there's no denying the conversation it ignited about spectacle, storytelling, and the future of cinematic universes. Ultimately, Transformers: Age of Extinction endures because it captures the essence of transformation, not just as a plot device, but as a metaphor for growth, challenge, and renewal. It invites viewers to embrace change, to find hope amid destruction, and to celebrate the power of stories that connect us across time, culture, and even species, human or robotic. It reminds us that even in a world dominated by machines, it is the heart and soul within us that define who we are. If you love this deep dive into Transformers: Age of Extinction? Give the video a thumbs up and subscribe for more explorations into the fascinating world of cinema. Together, let's continue unraveling the magic behind our favorite films, discovering the hidden layers, and celebrating the artistry that brings stories to life. Thanks for watching. See you on the next adventure.